Hey guys, Nose, it's me Cora. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my monthly favorites for the month of August. I'm very excited to be sharing these with you. I had a lot going on in August. I had a family wedding that I was a part of and I was out of town for that. And I went and stayed with my friend for a couple days and I was working a lot and it was just a really crazy busy month. And so my main focus last month was just on things that would make a lot of impact with less effort than normal. Like, instead of focusing so much on like eye makeup, which takes a little bit more time, I was super focused on lip colors. I was really focused on doing new things with my hair because, as you guys know, I've been growing my hair out and it's getting really long. It doesn't even fit in the camera view anymore from where I sit, so that's pretty exciting for me. And so I'm able to do different things with my hair and styling my hair different ways and just learning to care for it in a different way than I have been before. It's been really fun for me and it's been a little bit of an adventure. So let's just go ahead and start talking about the hair stuff right away. And for the first like 2/3 of August, I was wearing my hair curly a lot. You guys probably saw in tutorials or in videos I would have like wavy or curly hair. I was playing around with a couple of new curling irons that I'll talk about in just a second, but I have just been so excited to play around with my hair now that it's long enough that I really feel like I can get more impact out of it. For a long time, you guys know I wore my hair in a bob, and then it's been longer-ish. It's been about this length or so for about a year, and I've just been kind of like letting the dead ends grow out and cutting them off as they come and growing the black part out, and this part's still rather short. But anyway, so I have longer hair and I have more hair to be able to do things with. Discovered that I wanted to get new tools for curling my hair, and I've discovered that different barrels are different. This is all very no duh, but keep in mind I'm somebody who's had short hair most of my adult life and didn't really style my hair a whole ton when I was a teenager, so it's pretty exciting for me to just kind of discover this whole new world. I'll show you the curling iron. So the first one that I picked up was this one from Hot Tools. This is their Rainbow Gold curling iron. This is the 1-inch barrel curling iron. It's a traditional clamp curling iron and I love it. It's so funny because there's been all these new curling irons that have come out in the last few years, the clipless ones, the weird like bubbly one that I did last fall that I reviewed, like a clipless curling iron, which is pretty nice, but you really can't adjust the heat on it, and I don't like that because I have baby fine hair and I need to be able to adjust it. I know a lot of people will use their flat irons to curl their hair, and I have done that a lot in the past, but I found that the way that you end up having to do that, you know, you take it and you flip it and you know, it's so much pressure on the hair. It's like friction between the plates and just the heat and everything. Of course it's heat, you're using a styling tool, but I find that my color tends to fade really fast when I do that, or the color gets dull, which is really not a desired effect. So I don't like doing that, basically, and it's just something that I've noticed. Maybe you haven't noticed it, maybe it doesn't do that to you. Maybe it's I have a crappy flat iron, I don't know. I don't think it's particularly bad, but it's not great, I will tell you that. But anyway, this one is great for me because when I am using a clipless one, I always end up burning my fingers every single time. And when I use something like this, you know, obviously it clamps it for you. It just makes it easier. It's so much more intuitive for me to use because this is how I learned to use a curling iron years and years ago. I really like this one because it also has the temperature gauge. It goes from I can't talk. The temperature gauge on this goes from 280 to 430, which is really great for those of us who have fine hair and want a curling iron that isn't going to burn the crap out of our hair. But it's also nice because if I do my friend's hair, I can crank up the heat and use it on them. It has the comfort grip and all that nice stuff. And hello, it's rainbow. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I actually bought this at Ulta. They were having a sale. I think that this was $39 for this. It also has the swivel cord. I love it, and it's making me curl my hair more often. For the first, like I said, the first 2/3 of August, I wore my hair curled constantly. I just loved it, and this is really great. So I ended up deciding to pick up another size of this, and I think this is the 1/4 or the 1/2 barrel. I can't remember, but they only have like 2 of this style at Ulta, and then they have like a conical shaped one. Conical shaped one. So again, basically everything I just said for this one, just in a larger barrel. But I will say that one thing I've discovered is that anything this one could do, this one could do also. So basically a 1-inch curling iron is a nice universal size, and it's one that I encourage anyone who's just starting out curling their hair or anything to start with the inch curling iron. I think that it's a good size. This one can do things that this one doesn't do as easily. Like this one can do really quick waves all over, really simple. But I do find that this one, I feel like doesn't hold the curl as well. Probably just because it's curling it larger. I think if you had very long hair, this one also might be more handy than the smaller one. But they, you know, it's kind of nice to have two different sizes and be able to choose. But if I'm being honest, I use the 1 inch a lot more than I use the 1/4 or 1/2 or whatever that one is. So then in the later half of August, I was wearing my hair straight all the time because I think I had a little bit of a backlash from wearing it curly all the time. And just I wanted to give it a little chance to be a little bit more natural. My natural hair texture is pretty straight. It's a little wavier now that I'm getting older, which is kind of cool. But I do find that when I just let it air dry, it's a little bit frizzy on the ends, and who likes frizzy ends? I'm personally not a fan. I do think it's a little frizzier than normal because I'm in desperate need of a haircut. But anyway, so I have these frizzy ends, so I decided to go ahead and let it air dry half of the way and then blow dry it the rest of the way to kind of, you know, get a little more relaxed with it. I decided to pick up a different brush, one that I actually have had for a long time but never really used, and that is the Olivia Garden. This is called the Turbo Vent Oval Twin Medium, and I would show you an up-close shot of this brush, but it's a brush I actually use, so it's not super perfect, so let's maybe not see all the stains from my hair dye on it. But anyway, this brush is really rather unique. This one has a boar bristle on one side and it has the plastic bristles on the other. And this in and of itself, I've seen brushes like this, but because it's oval, it really gives you almost like several different brushes in one. So you get the kind of vent style paddle brush on this side that's really great for making your hair nice and straight when you're blow drying it. It runs through it nice. The air can get to the hair from the blow dryer, can get to the hair really easily. But then you also have these boar bristles, so it can kind of, you know, finish it up with the boar bristle, make your hair nice and smooth in a way that only boar bristle can really do. Boar bristle also gives your hair a good amount of body, so when you brush it with that side, looks different than when you brush it through with the, you know, the plastic brushes. So you're basically getting multiple brushes in one brush. It's pretty incredible. The other thing is that instead of actually being a round brush, it doesn't give you as much of that like bubbled up look. It also gives you a nice bend at the end though, because you do have the oval shape, so you can get a nice like curvature at the end of the hair, which is really nice, but keep it straight through here. Another thing I really like about this, and this is something that I only actually discovered about this brush when I was watching another YouTuber review it, was that it has this little thing at the bottom here that you can use to divide the hair. So for me personally, this is like the perfect travel brush, although I use it at home as well, of course, because I love this brush. This is literally one of the my favorite things that I've bought for hair ever. But anyway, it's great for travel because it's your paddle brush, it's your vent brush, it's your boar bristle brush, it's a round brush, it's a straight brush, and it also divides the hair. So it's kind of all you really need. Not really all you need. Let's be honest, we always want more, but it's all you need in like a good basic brush. You know, you can do your hair brushing at night with it because it has the boar bristles. You can style with it, which is something that I've always had to travel with, one that would separate the hair, one that was a boar bristle for brushing the hair at night, and then I've always needed one that was for styling it, whereas this one is kind of all in one. So I think $22.45 is a really good price to pay for this because it's amazing. Alright, so I have a lot of lip products to share with you guys this month, so let's just dive in with something familiar, and that is the Too Faced Melted Lipsticks. I love these. I've talked about them before. I've used them multiple times. I think they're fantastic. So I went ahead and picked up a few new colors. They came out with the new line of colors, and they had one that really caught my eye called Melted Fig, which I didn't actually get. But I ended up getting Melted Candy, which is that really great watermelon color. Let me give you guys a little swatch of this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Nice, like bright watermelon pink. It's so fun. I had to have it. And I ended up going back and getting the Melted Violet. This is the one that came out with the original launch of them, but I never picked it up. So I decided, oh screw it, I have to have it. So I'm really happy with these. Kind of the same thing applies that I've said before. I really love the texture of them. They have like a nice thin texture, but they can feel a little more cushiony if you apply them more. If you just apply a little bit, it can be a stain. If you apply a little bit more, it's a lipstick. If you apply even a little bit more, it's a little bit glossy. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure kind of lip product. And I really like it. I like the ease of the application. I'm a really big fan of these, and I will probably get more shades even though I need them like I need a hole in the head. So the next lipstick I want to talk to you guys about this month is something that I really love, and that is the Urban Decay Pulp Fiction lipstick of Mrs. Mia Wallace. I was really excited about this. Of course, anyone everyone loves Pulp Fiction, and so when they came out with the Pulp Fiction collection, I was really excited, but I didn't want to buy anything unless I really wanted the product. And when I saw the palette, it looked nice and it looked cool, but I was like, I just don't think I need it, and I know there's so many things that are going to be coming out this fall that I'm really going to want, so I went ahead and held off on that. But I decided to go ahead and pick up the lipstick because, I mean, come on, it's a dark red. I mean, come on. Actually, I wasn't 100% sold on this until Temptalia did a swatch and I sort of looked at it against what Gash looks like. And I also picked up Gash when it came out. So here's Gash. I'll show you that first. So this one is more of like a cool based dark red, and that's actually not the most flattering thing for me. Of course I can wear cool tone things, but just when you get in that berry tone of red, it's just not the best look. Like, it can look good, but sometimes something suits you better. So when I saw swatches of Mrs. Mia Wallace and I saw that it was more of a like a warm red, sorry, I thought I got something on my hand, and I saw that it was like a brighter, warmer red, I was like, oh, well, that's going to look so much better with my coloring. It's going to be a color I enjoy so much more, so it's definitely worth it to me to go ahead and pick that up. And I'm so glad that I did, because as you can see, they're actually quite different from one another, and Mrs. Mia Wallace looks fantastic on me, whereas Gash just doesn't really do it for me. So also I really liked that this came in the black tube, and I thought that was kind of cool. So this is their traditional, you know, their regular tube of lipstick, and this is the new black one, which I just thought was so cool that they did a different colored tube for this collection. And I'm just really happy with it. I've worn it a lot, and I'm, you know, it's kind of cool that it's Pulp Fiction, it's Urban Decay, which is one of my favorite makeup brands, and I love the color, so it's all around just it's very good times in makeup land. Now in terms of the lip pencil, they also came out with a lip pencil that matches it, and I decided to not get it because I have so many lip pencils already that it just has to be really special for me to go ahead and buy a new one. And just like another red lip pencil, I really have so many. So what I have found pairs really well with it is the MAC Brick Lip Liner, which, as you can, oh, I can't talk. As you can see, Brick is a little bit darker than this, but that's fine with a lip liner. The other one that works really well with it, it's a little bit lighter, is this Bite Beauty one in Wine, which I just love as a lip pencil anyway, because I think I've shown this to you guys before. It's a very skinny but wide lip pencil, so you get a really great line with it. So this is a good pencil to use with Mrs. Mia Wallace as well, even though it doesn't match it exactly. It's red. You know, you can kind of fudge it a little bit with red sometimes. My next favorite of the month is the Lydia pencil from OCC. This is a gorgeous deep plum lip liner. Now it is a little bit different from the Lip Tar. I find that the Lip Tar is a little lighter and a little more pink, whereas this is definitely darker and plum. I have a swatch of it here. Gorgeous color, so fantastic. Now I actually lightened it up today by using a melted lipstick from Too Faced. This is the Peony one, and then I blended in a little bit of Turn On from Urban Decay in between the two to get like a very subtle plum ombre lip. It makes the lips look a little fuller with a matte look, which I really enjoyed. And I just love the Lydia pencil. I really recommend it. I think it's perfect for fall. Definitely one of my favorites for August, which is funny because it was the summer, but whatever. I always get prepared for fall way before fall because fall is my absolute favorite time of year. Favorite of the month is also from OCC, and that is the Techno Pagan Lip Tar. I really love this. Let me go ahead and show you the little swatcherino. Oh, stuck my finger in something. This is the swatch of it here. It's that beautiful, it looks blue on the surface, but if you look around the edges and stuff, or if you blend it out a little bit, you can see that it's definitely a purple lip tar. It has that metallic finish. It has a thicker texture than most lip tars, even a little different from a lot of the metallic texture lip tars. It's amazing. I love it so much. And to be honest with you guys, I was kind of nervous to wear it out in public. I was like, are people gonna stare at me like a freak if I wear this color outside the house? I was actually pleasantly surprised that I got tons of compliments on this lip color. I think it's actually one of those weird colors that's super attractive. Like, it's one of those things, like, as a society we think like nudes, pinks, reds, these are normal lip colors, and everything else falls into the weird category and it couldn't be flattering. When in fact, of course those colors can be flattering because it's all about color theory and all that nice neat stuff. So very excited about this. I definitely think this is one to pick up. It's just, oh god, I love it so much. And yeah, I also did a full review on all of the new OCC collections, so I'll go ahead and have a link to that in the description box below for you. Next favorite of the month is the Vegas Lights palette from Makeup Geek. I absolutely love this palette. I did a review for it, so if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. I also did a copper eye tutorial. In fact, someone the other day requested me to do a copper eye tutorial, and I was like, I just did it. Maybe you missed it, so I'll go ahead and have that linked in the description box down below if you missed that one. This palette is so great. It's so fall, and I love that you can take the pans out so you can put other eyeshadows in here and travel with with it and use this as a little travel palette. I think it's just, I'm just really tickled pink about the whole thing, and I love it. Roulette is definitely one of my new favorite eyeshadow colors. I'm wearing it today with some purple from the Lorac Pro 2 palette, and I just very excited about it. And I don't have too much more to say about it that I haven't already said in my review for it, but it felt wrong to not include it. I almost didn't film it, and then I was like, you know what, I honestly used it so much this last month in August that it would be wrong not to include it. And I'll say favorites for the month or something. Again, I've had them for a while, but I wore them so much in August that it just felt wrong to not include them because I just used them so much. And that is two nail polishes from Marc Jacobs. One of them I'm wearing now, which is Petra. It's this really interesting, like warm gunmetal type color. It's very frosted. I love the finish and the texture because I don't have to use a base coat with it. It goes on really great. You don't have to use a top coat with it because it dries quickly and it looks nice without a top coat. And I do find that this actually lasts a few days for me without a top coat. So in those times where I'm like, oh, I just need to paint my nails really fast, this is like becoming my go-to polish, and I just love it. It's chic, and it goes with everything. Love. And then the other one is the Fluorescent Beige shade. I've talked about this before. I love it. It's one of my favorite nudes of all time. It's kind of like a nude cream, kind of in between. It has that beautiful, you can see the like pink flash in it, which is probably why it's called Fluorescent Beige. And I wore this quite a lot last month too because, again, as I said, I was busy, I was running, I was doing, so nude polish or things that dried quickly, it was just kind of my go-to this month. So those were my favorites. Now I want to talk about some things that I didn't like so much. So some things that, I don't want to say I don't like them. That's not fair. They're things that I'm in the middle of testing that I'm just not sure how I feel about, and I would love to get your guys' feedback. I'd love to know if you guys have tried these products, what experiences you're having with them, if I'm just crazy that I don't like them or whatever. So the first thing is the Boots wipes. These are the Beautiful Skin Quick Thinking Wipes. And on the cover it says, all skin types, removes even waterproof mascara, hypoallergenic. So I picked these up at Target because I was just out of my regular makeup wipes, which, by the way, I use the MAC wipes. I think they're fantastic. The only problem I have with the MAC wipes is A, the cost, and B, I find that around my eye area they tend to irritate my eyes, and that's kind of annoying, but I mean, just makeup just melts off with those. I really love them, and I even like the smell. I know that turns some people off, but anyway. So I ran out of those, so I decided to pick up the Boots 7, or is it just number 7? Is this Boots? Is it Boots or is it just number 7? Oh, it is Boots. Okay, so it's Boots, whatever. The first time that I used them, I'm gonna go ahead and use it to remove my little swipes here. The first thing I noticed is that they do tend to remove makeup pretty well. Like, this is some pretty hardcore makeup here, and it is, you know, removing it really well. It's making quick work of it. Maybe that Techno Pagan might stick around a little bit, and these are red lipsticks. But overall, it does remove makeup really well, particularly from, you know, the face and everything. All my eye makeup comes off really easily with them. And I do really like that. But the one thing that I'm discovering is that they're a little bit drier than the wipes I've used in the past. I feel like maybe I got a bad bag or something like that. So that's what I can do just really, you know, really quickly, just using one wipe. And the Techno Pagan is still staining me pretty bad, but that's pretty much par for the course of that color. It's a staining lip color I found. But I do also find that it leaves the skin feeling nice and clean. Like, I feel like with MAC wipes, sometimes like these feels kind of oily afterward. The only thing I'm kind of feeling like I don't really know about it is that I feel like they're maybe like less moist than I'm used to from a wipe. Am I crazy? Did I get a bad bag? I don't know. Another thing too is that I feel like the texture of the fabric is a little bit rougher than I'm used to, but it almost like, I feel like it kind of helps it remove the product. So I'm not really complaining about it, and it doesn't feel bad or anything, but it's just something I've observed. So I would like to get your feedback on that. Like, have you used these? What do you think? I also have noticed that they don't really irritate my eyes too much, so I do really like these. So then my last August item, I guess you could say, because again, it's not a fave, it's not a flop, it's just something where I'm like, I don't know, is the Smashbox, and I have to read the print on here and it's so tiny, Be Legendary Longwear Lip Lacquer, and the color is Flushed. So I picked this up on a recent trip to Sephora. I was there shopping around. It was just kind of like, hey, what's new? And the girl that works there, by the way, my friend Veronica, so hi Veronica, we actually used to be co-workers, and she was telling me that everyone is loving these Smashbox lip lacquers, and I was like, okay, well I gotta try it out because I'm all for the new lip products, obviously, this month. And so I went ahead and got the shade Flush because it looked like a color that I would wear a lot, so that I thought, okay, well, I'll get a lot of use out of it. I didn't want to get like the bright pink or a red or something that would be more specific to a type of look. I wanted to get something that could just be an everyday color I could throw in my bag. But to be honest with you, I'm not really sure if I like the formula. This so far has been, you know, of course this is a $24 lip gloss, and I'm not hating on it for being expensive, obviously. I just showed you guys all kinds of, you know, expensive lip products that I love. But when something costs a certain amount, I do expect more from it than I would from something that costs less. And what I found with this is that it's not, I would expect it to feel kind of pillowy or kind of cushiony. Just the description of the product and the way that it looks in the ads and everything, it looks like it's kind of like, you know, cushiony and nice on the lips, and I found that it almost feels a little bit gritty, and I don't know if it's because it has a shimmer in it. And I do want to say it's not terribly gritty, it's not horribly gritty, but it doesn't have that smoothness to it, and the shimmer in it is very, very fine. So if what I'm feeling is the shimmer, why isn't the thickness of the gloss, the viscosity of the gloss, thick enough that I don't feel that? Because there's tons of lip glosses that I have that have shimmer in them that don't feel gritty on the lip. The other thing about this one is that I do feel like lip lines show with it quite a bit, so I need to ask you guys, have you guys tried this? What do you guys think? Should I get a different color of it? Is it just the flushed color that, you know, isn't that all that great? I know my best friend has the rose something color and she loves it, so maybe I just need to get a different shade. Maybe the shade is just not working out. So that is pretty much how I feel about this, the Smashbox. The other thing is that the type is really, really small, which makes me feel like an old person. And on the eve of my 29th birthday, that's just what I want, to feel old. So the Be Legendary Longwear Lip Lacquer from Smashbox. It's a fave or flop, I don't know. You guys let me know how you guys have felt about it, if you guys have tried it out. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and like this little bit here at the end with the I don't know how I feel about it stuff. I think it kind of gives us a chance to have a dialogue about stuff, and maybe you guys can tell me something that I don't know about the product, or maybe like for instance with this, like did I just get a dry bag, or with this, is it just the wrong color? You know, just kind of things like that, so I'm not coming on here and saying, oh, I hate this, when it turns out like, you know. Anyway, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember to just be yourself. See you, bye.